Greetings to all. Welcome to this session on an understanding of the concept of self-awareness and an introduction of the self-assessment tools that allows you to identify strengths and weaknesses and how they could impact your lifestyle. This is an important session on the importance of self-awareness in our daily life and how it can be enhanced in various life situations. It helps us identify the various sources by which we can promote ourselves in various life situations. Therefore, the objectives of this sessions can be enlisted below. Number one, to understand the importance of self-concept, self-awareness and self-assessment in various life positions. Number two, to have an in-depth understanding of the strength and weakness in our daily life. Number three, how individuals can learn themselves with the help of feedbacks and how individuals can build trust among themselves by disclosing information about themselves. Introduction of self-concept. Self-concept is the image that we have of ourselves. It generally includes the individual perceptions of our behavior, abilities and unique characteristics. It explains the mental picture of who you are as a person. For example, beliefs such as I am a good friend or I am a kind person are part of the overall self-concept. When people are young, they go through the process of discovery and identity formation. Due to this, their self-concept becomes more amenable, whereas when we go older, we tend to be more organized, which helps us explain who we are and what is our importance. Human psychologist Carl Rogers believed that there are three different types of self-concept. The first one, that is self-image. It is a concept of how we see ourselves. Every individual self-image is a mixture of different attributes, including our physical characteristics, personality traits and social roles. Number two, self-esteem. It is a concept of how we value ourselves. When people react positively, then we tend to have a positive impact on our self-esteem. And when people react negatively, then we tend to have a negative impact on our self-esteem. The above is mainly seen when we compare ourselves to others and find ourselves gaining or lacking in a particular act. The next one is that of the ideal self. It is a concept of how we wish we could be. In many cases, the way we see ourselves and how we would like to see ourselves do not quite match up. So, according to Carl Rogers, the degree to which a person's self-concept matches up to the reality is known as congruence and incongruence. While we all tend to distort reality to a certain degree, congruence occurs when self-concept is fairly well aligned with reality. Incongruence happens when reality does not match up to our self-concept. Rogers believed that incongruence has its earliest roots in childhood, when parents place conditions on their affection for their children, only expressing love if children earn it through certain behaviors and living up to their parents' expectations. Children begin to distort their memories of experiences that leave them feeling unworthy of their parents' love. Unconditional love, on the other hand, helps to foster congruence. Children who experience such love feel no need to continually distort their memories in order to believe that other people will love and accept them as they are. Now, moving on to the concept of self-awareness. Self-awareness is a process of being aware of the different aspects of one's behavior, feelings and individual traits. It is critical for one to reach to their highest potential. It has the ability to see oneself, which leads to more power, comfort, effective relationships and more confident at their works. Self-awareness is often defined in terms of an ability to engage in reflective awareness. According to Likert, an organization will function best when its personnel functions not as individuals, but as members of highly effective work groups and high performance goals. Those members with high self-awareness are always balanced and they prove to work with confidence, delivering greater results. The social process by which people interact face-to-face in small groups is called group dynamics. It encompasses the dynamics of interaction, patterns within the group, the manner in which decisions are made in the group, how work gets done, and how member needs are met. The group develops its goals clearly and furnishes suggestions to its members for the accomplishment of the goals. However, feeling of hurt, anger, frustration and negative attitude are common among the dissatisfaction among colleagues, subordinates and superiors. Such aspects can be due to insensitivity to the feelings of others, understanding emotions and moods of employees, tactless comments of another individuals, etc. Such aspects is detrimental to both the quality as well as the quantity of the output, as it creates an element of frustration which may be either known or unknown to self and others. This paradigm shift was well explained by Joseph Loft and Henry Ingham as a framework to explain interpersonal conflicts called Johari window. The name Johari is a combination of the first names of its originators. He explains that in order to understand the degree of understanding, there are certain things that a person knows about himself and certain things that are unknown to him. Also, the same aspect is seen in others. Therefore, 4 areas of awareness of personality are identified based on how much we know of ourselves and how much we know about the others. They are the open self, the hidden self, the blind self, and the undiscovered self. The given chart explains the 4 areas of the self-awareness. Number 1, open self. The open self in an interaction process contains information known to us and to the others. Since there is openness and compatibility between them, there is less chances of interpersonal conflicts. Due to increase in information sharing enhances the possibility of more productive and mature relationship. Using Johari window in a team, the goal should be to develop the open self as much as possible for each member in a team. Here, they will be more productive and effective in this area, results in open, honest and transparent communication. It minimizes miscommunication, mistrust and confusion. New members will have small open areas to establish team members. They need to learn about the others and share information about themselves. Number 2, that is the hidden self. In this situation, the person knows about oneself but does not know about the others. As such, the person remains hidden from the others with the fear of how others might react. Sharing of information may cause shame, irritation, loss of relationship, etc. These persons will find it comfortable with private feelings and experiences rather than sharing it with the others. However, greater trust in others may encourage them to share among others. It represents information that persons intentionally hides it from the others. As the person's trust grows, they will increasingly disclose greater information and thereby closing this window and opening the open window. The blind self. This situation is quite opposite to that of the hidden self. Here the individual remains blind about himself, but the others know about his behavior. It is rather a disturbing area. Here the individual may be unintentionally irritating the others and hurting their feelings. Here there is scope for high interpersonal conflicts. Generally, everyone has blind spots. By soliciting feedback and by being more open to feedback of others, we become more aware of how others perceive us and we can shrink our blind spot. This may lead to stronger communication and trust. The last one, that is the undiscovered self. It contains information either we or the others do not know. This could be memories and experiences, prejudices and attitudes that are completely repressed and not easily available to us. Such situations creates misunderstanding between the two and becomes more explosive situations for interpersonal conflicts. This information may help to light through self-development and experiences. Organizations that promote culture and self-discovery and learning create opportunities for employees to close their window and they develop greater self-awareness. So therefore, the 4 windows are interrelated. Changes either in terms of increase or decrease brings light upon the relationship experienced in the organization. If a new entrant enters the organization, the hidden self may be small, but as time passes and relationships and trust increases, its scope may increase. For a manager, it is important to create an environment of easy feeling, understanding and trust so that employees are able to develop a healthy relationship and mutual interdependence, which is important for growth and productivity of the individual and the organization. Therefore, the Johari window is an outstanding tool to open up communications and develop strong teams in the organizations. They support cultures of trust, safety and transparency. Now, moving on to the next concept of the self-assessment. In social psychology, self-assessment is the process of looking at oneself in order to assess aspects that are important to one's identity. It is one of the motives that drives self-evaluation and self-verification and self-enhancement. Self-evaluation is a necessary component of being successful, both in the corporate, professional sense, but also in terms of personal growth. The purpose of the evaluation process is to highlight strengths, correct performances, weaknesses and develop unused skills and abilities. In order to do this, you must be willing to recognize areas that need improvement or development. It helps you develop more metacognitive skills and contribute to the range of diverse capabilities. All professionals must be able to evaluate their own performance. Therefore, self-assessment tools allows you to identify strengths and weaknesses and how they could impact your leadership style. SWOT analysis is a strategic planning method used to research external and internal factors that affect one's success and growth. It is an effective tool used to analyze and know oneself. This model is a basic 2x2 table with strengths and weaknesses laid out in the top two boxes and opportunities and challenges in the bottom two. While analyzing strengths and weaknesses, you are analyzing interpersonal factors such as personality traits, competencies, financial situation, knowledge, skill, personal network and so on. It is that area that you have influence on and you should act as proactively as you can. The external factors, opportunities and challenges bears heavily on the health and direction of one's career. These factors mainly include physical location, industry, company and profession. The important factor in conducting a SWOT analysis is to ensure the process is collaborative and ensure the collective generation of ideas which can be used effectively, which can help in future decision making. In the given figure, we have the strength and weakness which occupies the upper half and the challenges and opportunities which occupies the bottom half. Now, moving on to the strengths. Strengths are internal factors that positively influence your ability to achieve your objectives. It is the area of your life where you are strong and where you are better than the others. It's important to further develop your key strengths and make sure that you have control over them. Examples include positive personal traits, relevant skills, competencies, knowledge, work experience, commitment, enthusiasm, passion for your field, etc. Some questions then that can help you identify your personal strengths are: what are your talents and at which things are you naturally good at? Which knowledge and skill have you developed over the years and are really good at? Which personal achievements are you most satisfied with? What are your positive personality traits? What do you like most about yourself? What makes you different from most other people? Which values do you firmly believe in? What valuable lessons have you learnt in life? What resources do you have at your disposal? Which subject do you excel in during formal education? What contributed the most to your past victories? Weakness, on the other hand, represents all the areas where you are lagging behind, where you have shortcomings and gaps in skills. Weaknesses are your internal negative attributes. You have some control over these as well. Examples include negative personal characteristics, poor work habits, lack of work experience or relevant experience, lack of education, lack of career direction or focus, weak professional or career management skills, etc. Some of your weaknesses are easily seen while others are not. Some questions that can help you identify your weaknesses also are: where could you improve? What skill and abilities don't you have? In which areas do you lack experience? Which kind are you avoiding and are afraid of? Where do other people see possible space for improvement? Which of your failures are you least proud of? What do you like about yourself and what are your poor or bad habits? What have you often tried to do but failed almost every time? What about yourself seems to trip you up every time you reach a new goal? Now, moving on to the opportunities. Opportunities are uncontrollable external events that you can potentially leverage. Opportunities are external factors that have positive influence on your achieving your goal. It's all about the environment's paradigms and flows that helps you achieve your objective and accelerate your execution process. Understanding trends and opportunity is a big leverage you have to count into your life strategy. It's essential to identify such opportunities for your success. Examples include favorable industry trends, booming economy, specific job opening, upcoming company projects, emerging demand for a new skill or expertise, use of a new technology, etc. Some questions that can help you identify your opportunities are: which are the biggest changes that are occurring in your current environment? Which opportunities are you exploiting at the moment? Where do you see the biggest favorable circumstances for achieving your objectives? Do you know people who can help you achieve your objectives? What kind of moments do you hope for? Are they actually happening? What opportunities exist to improve your strengths even more? What opportunities exist to work on your weakness? Whom can you approach for academic support? Which new trends in society excites you the most? Now, moving on to the challenges. Challenges are external factors that have a negative influence and can prevent you from achieving your goals. It's about analyzing external factors on which you don't have much influence and which can prevent you from going forward. Challenges are uncontrollable external factors that may work against you and require you to take protective action. Examples include industry restructuring and consolidation, changing market requirements and their impact on your employer, changing professional standards that you don't meet, reduced demand for one of your skills, evolving technology you have unprepared for, emergence of a competitor either to your company or to you personally, etc. An external factor can sometimes be both a challenge as well as an opportunity. For example, the emergence of a programming language that replaces one you know is a challenge. If you do nothing about it, and an opportunity if you commit to becoming one of the early experts. Some questions that can help you identify your challenges are: which are the biggest changes that are occurring in your current environment? Which thoughts about your future upset you the most? Which things beyond your control have prevented you from achieving goals in your life? Which obstacle can you identify in your current situation? Which new trends in society worry you the most? What new developments could impact negatively on your chosen career? What are the biggest risks you are facing? Therefore, by going forward, you should focus on your strengths and abilities and on developing related skills and qualities. You should tackle each weakness one by one. Keep at it until you have succeeded in eliminating the bad habit or have acquired the new skill. It is an unfortunate fact that if you try a total personal makeover all at once, you are bound to fail. Rather, enjoy the satisfaction and reward for taking small but successful steps towards achieving one or two goals at a time. To construct your own SWOT analysis, to set a course for your career planning, examine your current situation. What are your strengths and weaknesses? How can you capitalize on your strengths and overcome your weaknesses? What are the external opportunities and threats in your chosen career field? This figure explains the strength, weakness, opportunities and challenges. Now moving on to the strengths. Internal positive aspects that are under control and open, which you may capitalize in planning. Work experience, education including value added features, strong technical knowledge within your field, for example, hardware, software, programming languages, etc. Specific transferable skills, for example, communication, teamwork, leadership skills, etc. Personal characteristics, for example, strong work ethic, self-discipline, ability to work under pressure, creativity, optimism or a high level of energy. Good contacts or successful networkings, interaction with professional organizations. A quick look into the weaknesses. Internal negative aspects that are under your control and that you may plan to improve. Lack of work experience, lack of goals, lack of self-knowledge, lack of specific job knowledge, weak technical knowledge, weak skills like your leadership, interpersonal communication, teamwork, etc. Weak job hunting skills. Negative personal characteristics, for example, poor work ethic, lack of discipline, lack of motivation, indecisiveness, shyness, too emotional, etc. Opportunities can be positive external conditions that you do not control, but of which you can plan to take advantage. Positive trends in your field that will create more jobs, for example, growth, globalization, technological advances, etc. Opportunities you can have in the field of enhancing your education. Opportunities you could have through greater self-knowledge, more specific job goals. Opportunities for advancement in your field, opportunities for professional development in your field. Career path you have chosen provides unique opportunities, strong network. Moving on to the challenges, negative external conditions that you do not control, but the effect of which you may be able to lessen. Negative trends in your field that diminish jobs, downsizing, obsolescence, etc. Competitors with superior skills, experience, knowledge, etc. Competitors with better job hunting skills than you. Obstacles in your way, for example, lack of advanced education, training you need to take advantage of opportunities, etc. Limited advancements in your field, advancement in cutthroat and competitiveness, limited professional development in your field, so it's hard to stay marketable. From this analysis, you will have a roadmap that shows you how to capitalize on your strengths and minimize or eliminate your weaknesses. You should then use this map to take advantage of opportunities and avoid or lessen your challenges. After you've analyzed your strength, weakness, challenges and opportunities, you should use that information to plan how to present yourself. Thank you for watching this program. Have a nice day.